Om Sadevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, wanted to seek the blessing of Radha Madhav, Radha Shamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Singhadev, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra, Gaur Nitai, Tulsi Mani, Haridas, Guru Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. Thank you so much for joining today. We continue with the ninth canto. This time is chapter number 2, the dynasties of the sons of Manu. The second chapter describes the dynasties of the sons of Manu. So, after Shudyumna accepted the order of Vanaprastha. So Shudyumna is the one who was born a woman, then he became a man, and then other things happened as well. Anyway, eventually he gave up the throne in favor of his sons and took Vanaprastha. And he
Prabhu, I can't hear you very well. I don't know if it's only
ah,
me.
okay.
Yes, it's a little bit less than normal. Yeah, I have tried to
Yeah.
hold you high.
Okay, let's join with. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, just stop this. Good. So, after he departed for the forest, Vaivasvata Manu, being desirous of sons, worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead and consequently begot 10 sons like Maharaj Ikshvaku, all of whom were like their father. One of these sons, Prashadhara, was engaged in the duty of protecting cows at night from ferocious animals with a sword in his hand. Following the order of his spiritual master, he would stand in this way for the entire night. Wow. Once in the darkness of night, a tiger seized a cow from the cowshed. And when Prashadhara came to know this, he took a sword in his hand and he followed the tiger. Unfortunately, when he finally approached the tiger, he could not distinguish between the cow and the tiger in the dark. And thus he killed the cow by mistake. The tiger had fled as its ear was cut. Oh dear. In the morning, when Prashadhara, who was quite able to subdue his enemies, saw that he had killed the cow, although at night he thought he had killed the tiger, he was very unhappy. Because of this, his spiritual master cursed him to take birth in a Shudra family. So that's quite a heavy punishment. But the reason that is a heavy punishment is because Prashadhara was held account to a very high standard. After all, he is the son of Manu, and he made a terrible mistake by killing the cow, even though it was a mistake. As the family priest or spiritual master of Prashadhara, Vashishta should have taken Prashadhara's offense very lightly. But instead, Vashishta cursed him to become a Shudra. It is the duty of the family priest not to curse the disciple, but to give him relief, through the performance of some sort of atonement. So Vashishta should have actually punished him and made him do some tapasya, which would have been the rightful punishment. Vashishta, however, did just the opposite. Therefore, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, he was durmati. In other words, his intelligence was not very good. Interesting. Now, Vashishta, we know, he's the priest of the Raghuvamsi, Lord Ramachandra's dynasty. So, anyway, Prashadhara accepted the curse, began to practice mystic yoga as a brahmachari, traveled all over the world, acting deaf, dumb, and blind. And in Bhakti Yoga, he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he voluntarily entered a blazing forest fire, thus relinquishing his material body and going back home, back to Godhead. So actually that curse was an absolute blessing for Prashadhara. But the person who cursed him, unfortunately, lost. In this case, it was Vashisht. Kavi, the youngest son of Manu, was a great devotee of the Supreme Lord from his very childhood. Being reluctant to accept material enjoyment, Kavi gave up the kingdom before attaining full youth. That's incredible. Even before full youth, he gave up the kingdom. Accompanied by his friends, he went to the forest, always thinking of the self-effulgent Supreme Lord within the core of his heart. Thus, he attained perfection. From Manu's son, known as Kurusha, a sect of Kshatriyas known as Kurushas was generated. Manu also had a son known as Drasta, from whom another sect of Kshatriyas was generated. But although they were born of one who had qualities of a Kshatriya, they became Brahmins. Interesting. From Naga, another son of Manu, came the sons and grandsons, descending in order from the seminal dynasty of Narisyanta. Another son of Manu were further progeny. So here we go. This is a bit of a summary now. From Nag, Sumati, Bhutajoti, Vasu, we had Patika, Oghavan. Oghavati is the daughter who was married to Sudarshan. This is Nag's dynasty. And then Narishanta's dynasty starts with him, Chitrasena, Midwan, Purna, Indrasena, Vitihotra, Satyasrava, Urushrava, Devadatta. From Devadatta comes Agnivesh, Vishya, the fire god Agni, known also as Kanina or Jatukarnya, a Brahminical dynasty known as Agniveshya Yana. Interesting how from Kshatriyas the Brahmins came. Okay, so this is where Sukadeva Goswami is explaining the different dynasties from the Manus, from the Manu. From the seminal dynasty of Dista, another son of Manu, many sons and grandsons were born in this dynasty. From Trinabindu came a daughter named Ilavati, from whom Kuver took birth. Kuver is the treasurer of the Devatas. So this is Dista's dynasty. Dista Nagaba, Balandana, Vatsapati, Pramshu, Pramati, Kanitriya, Chakshusha, Vivimsati, Ramba, came Kani Netra, Karandama, Avikshit, and Maruta. But Kuver also is in this dynasty. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kuber and Ravan, they're related, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
half brothers. I think they're
Half-brothers.
half brothers, yeah. That's correct. That's correct.
Ravan, so Ravan would be Ravan was a Kshatriya?
Ravan was a Kshatriya. Yeah, I think he was a Kshatriya, wasn't he? Did he? Ravan, Kshatriya? Yes, I think he was. He was in the Kshatriya class. Yeah, yeah. And Kumkaran, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishashva, son, Somadatta, performed an Ashwamedha sacrifice, and by worshipping the Supreme Personality of God Vishnu, he achieved the supreme perfection of going back home to Godhead. So this is, who is this? Maruta's dynasty. We haven't come across Maruta's dynasty. So these are some more There's the Marutha's dynasty described, Vishala's dynasty described. I won't go through the names unless we see somebody who we recognize. Ah, there you go. Tina Bindu. Oops. So from Tina Bindu, 3 sons, Vishal, and a daughter, Ilavali. Ilavali married Vishrava, and they gave to birth to Kuver. Vishala, so that's Vishala's dynasty, constructed a palace, Hemachandra. Okay, so Samadatta, he performed this Ashwamedha sacrifice, and he pleased the Supreme Lord, attained the planet of great mystics. Janamejaya, I think he's quite famous sage. Anyway, so let's just have a quick look at this. Yeah, okay. So that's chapter 2. Moving on to chapter 3. So chapter 2 is basically the description of all the different generations that came from the Manu, which Vaivasvata Manu. The marriage of Sukanya and Shayana Muni. This chapter describes the dynasty of Saryati, another son of Manu, and also tells about Sukanya and Revati. Okay. Devgya Saryati, another son of Vaivasvata Manu, who was learned in Vedic knowledge, gave instructions about what to do in the ritualistic ceremony observed on the second day of the Yajna of the Agni Rasas. One day, Saryati, along with his daughter known as Sukanya, went to the ashram of Chavana Muni. There, Sukanya saw 2 glowing substances within the hole of earthworms, glowworms, and by chance she pierced these 2 glowing substances. As soon as she did this, blood began to ooze from that hole. So actually, this is the Muni who was in meditation. Anyway, consequently, King Saryati and his companions suffered from constipation and inability to pass urine. Being very much afraid, the girl Sukanya said to her father, "I have done something wrong, for I have ignorantly pierced these 2 luminous substances with a thorn." Then they all offered prayers to Shavana Muni. The Muni had asked the king if his daughter was married. When he asked the Muni to forgive, he and Devgyan Saryati, knowing how to appease the Muni, offered his daughter to Shavana Muni, who was a very old and irritable man. But Sukanya served him well. When the heavenly physicians, the Ashwini Kumar brothers, once visited Shavana Muni, the Muni requested them to give him back his youth in exchange for a full pot of somarasa. Nice bit of barter here. These 2 physicians, who had the ability to make an old man young, took Shavana Muni to a particular lake in which all 3 of them bathed, and Shavana Muni regained full youth. Thereafter, 3 men with very beautiful bodily features emerged from the lake. They were nicely dressed and decorated with earrings and garlands of lotuses. All of them were the same standard of beauty. Sukanya could not distinguish her husband. She then surrendered onto the Ashwini Kumaras and requested them to mercifully show her husband. Pleased with her chastity, they introduced her again to her husband. King Saryati, desiring to perform a sacrifice, went to the residence of Chavana Muni. There he saw by the side of his daughter a beautiful young man as bright as the sun. And the king became upset with his daughter, thinking that she had left the Muni and accepted a young man as her husband. Sukanya, however, being very proud of her chastity, explained the actual position that the young man was Chavana Muni, which pleased the king. Chavana Muni then engaged King Saryati in performing the Soma Yagya and gave the Ashwini Kumaras the privilege to drink Soma Rasa. The king of heaven, Lord Indra, became very angry at this, and he tried to kill the Muni, but he could not do harm to him. And instead, Chavana Muni, by his powers, paralyzed Indra's arms that held the thunderbolt. Henceforth, the Ashwini Kumara, who were only physicians, were allowed by the demigods to share in Somaras. So Somaras is obviously a very sacred beverage, and which is the privilege of which is only given to the Devatas. Now, Ashwini Kumaras, they were servants of the Devatas, but now, by the mercy of Chavana Muni, they had actually became promoted in order to partake in the sharing of Somaras. Saryati later had 3 sons named Uttanabhari, Anartha, and Burishena. Anartha had 1 son whose name was Revata. Revata had 100 sons, of whom the eldest was Kukudmi. Kukudmi once took his daughter Revati to see Brahma to inquire about a husband for her. Okay, interesting. When Kukudmi arrived there, Lord Brahma was engaged in hearing musical performances by the Gandharvas. Therefore, Kukudmi waited, and at the end of the musical performance, he submitted his request to Lord Brahma, and thus submitted his long-standing desire. So this Revati had great qualities, and the king could not find anybody to marry her. So he went to Lord Brahma, please find a suitable husband for my daughter. Lord Brahma laughed loudly and said to Kukudmi that everyone you knew has passed away, as 27 Chatuyugas have already passed. Because remember, 1 second of Lord Brahma is equal to 100,000 years on earth. So he waited for this musical performance to be finished. So he is so many, 27 Chatuyugas. Chatuyug is the 4 yugas, which is 4.32 million years. 27 times that is how much has already passed. He advised Kukudmi to offer his daughter to Lord Balaram, who is still present on earth with Krishna. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose plenary portion is Lord Vishnu. Your daughter is fit to be given to him in charity. Kukudmi did as advised by Brahma, and then retired from worldly life and went to Badrikaksham to please Naranarayan. So it's interesting what happened when Revati was introduced to Balaram. She was much taller than Balaram because she came from the Satyayug. And Balaram, he accepted Revati as his wife, and with his club, he reduced her down to size. This is quite an interesting pastime. Chapter 4, Ambarish. Wow. Maharaj is offended by Durvasa Muni. This chapter describes the history of Maharaj Nabhaga and of the son Nabhaga and of Maharaj Ambarish. The son of Manu was Nagava, and his son Nagava lived for many years in the Gurukul with his guru. In Nagava's absence, his brothers did not consider his share of the kingdom because they thought he wouldn't become a grihastha, but instead divided the property among themselves. When Nagava returned home, his brothers bestowed upon him their father as his share. But when Nagava went to his father and told him about the dealings of his brothers, his father informed him that this was cheating, as he was not property which can be enjoyed, and advised him that for his livelihood he should go to the sacrificial arena, and described 2 mantras to be chanted there. When the sage headed by Angira Muni would make mistakes on every 6 days. Hang on, I don't understand that bit. Anyway, let's carry on. These 2 mantras to be chanted. Nagabha executed the order of his father, and thus Angira and the other great sage, Sandi persons, gave him, Nagabha, all the money collected in her sacrifice. To test Nagabha, Lord Shiva challenged his claim to the wealth. But when Lord Shiva was satisfied by Nagabha's behavior, Lord Shiva offered him all the riches along with transcendental knowledge. The test by Lord Shiva was that he appeared before Nagabha as a black person, claimed the wealth given to Nagabha by the sages, and Shiva said that Nagabha's father should settle the dispute. King Nagabha agreed that the wealth from the yajna belonged to Shiva. Nagabha informed this to Shiva. So the son informed Shiva that his father has said, wealth belongs to you, who became very pleased with the Nagabha, the son. From Nagabha was born Ambarish, the most powerful and celebrated devotee. Sukadeva Goswami explained that although he was cursed by an infallible Brahmin, Durvasa Muni, the curse did not touch him, could not touch him. Maharaj Parikshit was surprised that a Brahman's curse did not act upon Ambarish, and he asked Sukadeva Goswami to explain further. So this is very, very nice pastime now. Maharaj Ambarish, he was the emperor of the entire world, but he considered his opulence temporary and insignificant like a piece of stone. Indeed, knowing that such material opulence is the cause of downfall into conditioned life, he was unattached to the opulence. He engaged his senses and mind in the service of the Lord. This process is called Yukta Vairagya, or feasible renunciation. So Yukta Vairagya is a principle that we only accept what we need in order to live and to do bhakti. This is very suitable for worship of the Supreme Lord. So this is how he would engage his different senses, right? With the mind, he always meditated on Krishna's lotus feet. His words he used to glorify Krishna's qualities. So this is an example for us, actually. This is a really wonderful example for us. His hands he used in cleaning the Lord's temple. His ears, he would hear narrations about Krishna. His eyes, he would see the deities of Mukunda. The sense of touch in touching the devotees' bodies. The sense of smell, smelling the fragrance of tulasi offered to the Lord's feet. The tongue in tasting the Lord's prasad. The legs in walking to the holy places and temples. The head bowing down to Lord Rishikesh's feet. Desires in Lord's service, not enjoyment. This is a really fantastic example. He did all this to develop attachment for the Lord as possessed by great devotees. So this is very, very good instruction for us. As far as we can utilize all of our senses, the knowledge acquiring senses, the working senses, and the senses themselves, to engage them in the service of the Lord. That makes them purified. Maharaj Parikshit was immensely opulent. He was rich. He was the emperor of the whole world. And he performed devotional service with great opulence. But despite his wealth, He had no attachment to his wife, children, or kingdom. To say nothing of enjoying material opulence, he never desired even liberation. He offered all the results of his royal activities to Lord Krishna and took advice from the Brahmins, the Lord's pure devotees. He worshipped the Lord by doing Ashwamedha Yagya, performed by great sages like Vashishta, Asita, Gautam. His citizens were also satisfied by performing devotional service. So he was one of the greatest devotees. Being very pleased by the unalloyed devotion of Maharaj Ambarish, the Supreme Lord gave the king his disc for protection, chakra. Once, Maharaj Ambarish, along with his queens, was worshipping the Supreme Lord.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, yes, Hare Krishna.
In between, you're saying Maharaj Amrish, and then you're saying Maharaj Parishit. Is that right?
Parikshit. You mean Parikshit?
Yeah.
Parikshit is the one that is being told this story by Sukadev Goswami. And Sukadev Goswami is now telling him about Maharaj Ambarish.
So Amrish is different from Parishit.
Oh, yeah. Very different. Maharaj Ambarish is in Satyayug, whereas Parikshit was born in Dwapayug to Arjun.
Yeah, Arjun, yeah, that's right.
Right.
And this is like in Maharaj Amrish is
Satyayug, long time back.
Long time back, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So the Supreme Personality, his chakra. Oh yeah. So they were worshipping the Supreme Lord in Vrindavan, observing the vow of Ekadashi in the month of Kartik. After observing that vow for 1 year, wow, and observing a fast for 3 nights, and after bathing in the Yamuna, Maharaj Ambarish performed devotional service in Madhuvan, which is in Vrindavan. Madhuvan is one of the forests. So he was performing his bhakti by performing the bathing ceremony of the deity of Lord Krishna with all paraphernalia. He was dressing the deity with fine clothing and ornaments, fragrant flower garlands. All greatly fortunate Brahmins were there. They were free from material desires. He satisfied all of the Brahmanas, all the guests who had arrived at his house, especially the Brahmins. He gave in charity 60 crores of cows. Wow, that's a lot. That's like 600,000 cows, I think, whose horns were covered with gold plates. On Dwadasi, the day after Ekadasi, when he was about to break or finish his fast, Ekadasi fast, the great mystic yogi, Durvasa Muni, who is a partial expansion of Lord Shiva, he appeared as an uninvited guest in Ambarish's house and became his guest. King Ambarish respectfully received Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni, after accepting his invitation to eat there, went to bathe in the Yamuna at noontime. There he dipped into the water of the auspicious Yamuna and meditated upon the impersonal Brahman. So, now there's a little dilemma here for Ambarish, because he was just about to finish this Ekadasi fast and Durvasa came. So, because he was absorbed in Samadhi, Durvasa Muni did not come back very soon. Maharaj Ambarish did not want to transgress the laws of respectful behavior towards the Brahmins by eating to finish his fast. He had to finish his fast, but he didn't want to eat because that would have been an insult to his guest, eating before the guest. However, upon seeing that the time to complete the fast was passing, Only a muhurta of the Dwadasi day was left on which to complete the fast. You have to finish the fast by a certain time, otherwise there's no benefit of fasting. So he drank a little water in accordance with the advice of the learned Brahmins, just to observe the formality of breaking the fast. According to Brahmanical opinion, drinking water may be accepted as eating and also not as not eating. If the fast was not completed, then there was a flaw in the Ekadashi vow. So Ambarish Maharaj, he took this little water, and that is considered to be completing the fast. And it's not eating either. He took this under the advisement of his Brahmins. So, after returning, by mystic power, Durvasa Muni could understand that Maharaj Ambarish had drunk water without his permission. He was very angry that the king had transgressed the law of respectful behavior towards the Brahmins, and he began to chastise Ambarish Maharaj. But he was not satisfied. He was just telling him off, but that was not enough. He finally punished Ambarish Maharaj. To punish him, he created from his hair a demon. And that demon resembled the blazing fire of devastation. This is Durvasa Muni is partial incarnation of Shiva. He's got a lot of power. That demon had a trident in his hand. He was making the surface of the earth tremble with his footsteps. That blazing creature came before Maharaj Ambarish. But the king, upon seeing him, was not at all disturbed, did not move even slightly from his position. There you go. Durvasa Muni created this demon just from a piece of hair on his head. And he wanted the demon to punish Ambarish Maharaj for simply drinking water. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, is always the protector of his devotees. And to protect Maharaj Ambarish by the previous order of the Lord, the Sudarshan Chakra. Remember, Vishnu had given Ambarish his Sudarshan Chakra. So Sudarshan Chakra was there to protect Ambarish. So this Sudarshan Chakra, who is also a living entity, very special living entity, he immediately vanquished the fiery demon, and then he pursued Durvasa, who was so envious of Maharaj Ambarish. Ambarish did not even ask for protection from the Lord, thinking that he should not counteract the power of a Brahmin. Ambarish, real devotee, he didn't even say to the Lord, please protect me. He knew this is the Brahmin. Let the Brahmin's power kill me. It's okay. At least I'm killed by a Brahmin. He should just tolerate it. Instead, he thought of the Lord in his heart. Devotee's nature is not to harm even those who intend to harm them. Durvasa Muni saw that the disc was almost touching his back, and thus he ran very swiftly towards a cave of Sumeru mountain. The sky on the surface of the earth, in caves, in the ocean. He ran everywhere. On different planets of the rulers of the three worlds. He even went to heaven. He went to Brahmlok. Even Lord Brahma could not help as he had offended a devotee. He went to Kailash to see Lord Shiva, help me. But even Lord Shiva, wherever he went, he immediately saw following him the unbearable fire of Sudarshan Chakra. In Kailash, Lord Shiva advised him, only Vishnu can help you. There he is. Sudarshan's after him for offending Ambarish. So, being disappointed, finally, Durvasa Muni, he went to the spiritual world. He was so powerful, he could enter the Vaikuntha. And he surrendered to Narayan, Lord Narayan. But Lord Narayan, he could not excuse a person who has offended a Vaishnava. And he described his relationship with his devotees. So this is Durvasa Muni. He's falling at the feet of Vishnu. Help me, Narayan. Narayan said, no, I can't help you. I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not independent at all. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the core of their hearts. What to speak of my devotees? Even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. Without saintly persons, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss and opulences. How can I give up such a devotee at any time who has given up everything for me? The pure devotees who are equal to everyone bring me into their full control. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotees. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. Wow. This is such a reciprocation between the Lord and the devotee. So then he advised him, to be excused from such an offense, you must submit to the Vaishnava whom you have offended. There is no other way to be excused. Thus, Lord Narayan, wishing him all good fortune, advised Durvasa to return to Ambarish Maharaj and beg his pardon. Pleasing him will give Durvasa peace. So, this is Durvasa Muni coming, taking the shelter of Ambarish, and Ambarish is saying, if I've done any devotional service, please leave Durvasa alone. Anyway, that's the next chapter. Hopefully we'll do that tomorrow. Any questions, any comments?
Yes, just one observation.
Yes.
Amrish Maharaj, such a
Ah.
pious person, you can learn a lot from him.
Yes.
Absolutely 100% devotee of Krishna.
Yeah.
Any advices, not even asking for any little help from Vishnu.
Extraordinary.
We are always asking, do this, I don't want.
Yeah.
And
Very true.
he never got angry also. He just stood there.
Yeah. He just stood there. And all this time, Durvasa was chased by the Sudarshan. Ambarish didn't move.
Yeah.
He just stayed. He was just praying. What is happening to Ambarish? What is happening to Durvasa?
Durvasa, yeah. And Chakra just came, just like that.
Chakra was gifted to him by Vishnu. Vishnu had already given Chakra to him. Yeah.
And because he performed that Agni from his hair.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Yeah. And because he was a devotee, Vishnu had given him his Chakra. He said, you are my devotee. You have my Chakra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and
yes.
And another one chapter before that, I forgot the king name, but her daughter got married with this Muni, Kavanya Muni, but because he was old, some reason he went in the river and he came out as a young.
Yes. Ashwini Kumaras, they gave him this youth. That's correct. That's correct.
That's good, but long time ago this thing could have happened, not now.
Long time. Yes. Yeah.
So that was good, very interesting.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Naniben, yes, you're absolutely right. So much to learn from Ambarish. So much to learn.
I remember him in my prayers in the morning as one of the
great fantastic
devotees of the Lord. There are few names I remember. And
he's one of them.
First one, Amrish Maharaj.
Wow. Amazing. Very good, actually. Very, very good. Yeah, well done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Srimad Bhagavad Puran ki jai, Ambarish Maharaj ki jai.